Hello and welcome everyone to the Friday, January 5th, 2024 edition of the Contributor Comms team meeting. As a reminder, we do operate under a code of conduct, which essentially says to be respectful of your fellow speakers and participants and generally be excellent to each other. We've already got our notes up here. This is our first meeting of 2024, which is exciting.
Woo-hoo! Happy New Year.
Yeah. If you haven't already, I think everybody's name is in here. But also if you have any items that you want to discuss, go ahead and add those to the notes. Yeah, and we usually offer an opportunity at the beginning here for any new folks to introduce themselves, but there's nobody new today, so we'll go ahead and skip that, I think, for today.
Yes. I did invite someone, a colleague, internet friend kind of thing. They wanted to get more involved in Kubernetes development in 2024. So I said, well, there's a few ways you can start. Look at the SIG list is what I told him first, because skilled developer, he's just trying to find the path, right? Like that's all we need to do. And so I said,
Yep.
hey, if you want to like feel things out and feel like you get a better lay of the land before you make that decision, join us in comms. So yeah.
Excellent. Everybody always welcome to do that, of course.
hmm
Hopefully they will join us another time.
Yeah, no, I imagine next week.
All right, I'm adding a couple things in here, which I'll go over real quick. Uh, it's on my list. It's been on my list this week to ping LinkedIn about the company page and the other page
Yeah.
that we need to get control over. So I'm hoping to do that today. The other thing is that we still need to hear from steering about Kubernetes IO.
Is
I was also
Syrian even awake today?
uh, oh man. I was thinking yesterday, maybe I should just like grab the last message that I put in there and
Uh-huh.
start pinging that weekly.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Like set up a if this and that like every week.
Hello, you can say no to me, but you have to say no. So we still don't have control of the Kubernetes IO account on
But they
X, which
do,
is
correct? Last we determined
that's what
they
I've heard
okay.
is that they do have the keys to the castle.
As
If they
long
were to
as
choose to give them to us, we could do things, but
somebody in the project does, I think that's okay. But yes, I
yeah.
think we could add our automations to it and just move on with life that way.
And kind of just decide what we want to do with it. Steering's not going to, so
Yeah, exactly.
we would be the ones who could choose a path and walk it.
And I suspect they want some kind of check and balance system of some sort so that somebody doesn't accidentally like, oh yeah, by the way, the world of Kubernetes is ending on this because we're changing the registry again. You know, whatever.
Yeah, I'm sure Ian will have cool ideas and
Oh
we could
yeah.
kind of brainstorm and stuff. But if we ever get access to that, if we ever get confirmation that we are actually taking that over,
Mm-hmm.
we will see.
At some point.
Are there any other items that we should
Oh,
review here in the new year?
I mean, well, we need
Well,
to
the
take a
board,
look at
obviously, but
the whole packages dot cates dot io
mm,
move.
when does that go
Uh,
again?
Jeez. I just had it up actually. Going away. Okay, they've already been frozen and going away in January 2024.
Yeah, it doesn't have a specific date.
Not
They
yet.
said they were working on a new blog post or something about that we would just promote, but
Yeah, there's still discussion going on because people are not on the same page what is going to happen and if old packages should now also be moved to the new community owned one. And the problem is SIG Infra does not know how much money it will cost to serve old packages. because before it was served by the Google private-owned registry, and then this goes now into the public one. But the problem with this is that even if we don't move the old packages and the new packages get moved, eventually people will adopt to the new packages, obviously, because they can't use the old packages anymore. And then also the consumption goes up. And yeah, this is an open topic for discussion. However, the SIG Infra meeting this week did not happen because we're not too much people around.
Yeah,
So
that's kind of what I suspected. I was thinking that we weren't going to hear anything about this until next week, to be honest with you, if at all. I figure y'all would be in the deciding mode next week, and then maybe the week after that, we could probably do an announcement saying, "Hey, this is exactly when it's happening." But yeah, we kind of need to be on standby.
Yeah. When there are things like this where we're kind of on standby, we bring it up every week, regardless of the status.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the deeper I get into open source Kubernetes, the more I feel like it's just a company without all of the
Bingo.
bells and whistles of a company.
Yeah.
as soon as I know more from SIG Infra, I will tell you here.
Cool.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mario. It's really nice to have connections to other SIGs too.
I know,
within
right?
our group. Love it. Awesome. Yeah. So we'll check back in on that next week. Any other discussion items before we move into the board?
Well, not really an item, but in terms of my own participation in things, I'm going to be part of the release lead team for Kubernetes 130 as a shadow cat. So it's more of a note so that since you mentioned having a foot in other places, I guess this is yet another place for our comms team to be.
Nice.
So are you shadowing release lead this time? Is that what I heard?
Yeah, that's it.
Nice.
Awesome.
Oh, yay. Love to see
Thank you.
it.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, that's fantastic.
This is very, very good. Thank you for that.
They turned out so nice. Folks have been
Yes.
posting pictures and I'm impressed. Yay. So glad to see you got it. Awesome. And congratulations on being a shadow for lead for 1.30. I guess that means you'll probably be leading 1.31. I'd bet.
No, not well. There are 4 shadows, and it's not even a direct path. It's just another experience.
Yeah.
So I would not be surprised if in a soon to be future release, you ended up as a lead.
You've
been doing that for a while, right?
A lot of very good and expert people, so that's that's a good have in that regard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. When do you know when are the shadow applications open? Is that closed already?
Open, and they will close. They will close soonish. Go on, and I'll pop in and tell you.
Cool.
Well, we should probably throw out a tweet about that. Oh, it's closed already, Sundabun?
Yeah, maybe it is. It was.
Yeah, I thought
that.
it had a 2023 end date for reasons.
Yeah, probably.
I think it closed on the 3rd of January or something like this.
Oh, of course. Close it on a Monday.
Hey,
why not? Or
made
Tuesday.
it into the new year a little bit.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, I know because I am applying for it for the 4th time.
Good luck, Sundabun.
Still not selected though.
Yeah.
It happens. Yeah.
Very
It'll happen, and then
I
you'll
know.
be like, "Oh my god, what did I get myself into?"
Well, I mean, it's pretty common for it to take several tries, so don't feel bad about it. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
but I'm glad that you're applying and still trying. Go, go, go. Also, one other thing that I remembered that I should add here. In the contributor summit meeting this week, which was on Wednesday, weirdly.
It was a summit meeting, though. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, summit meeting instead of SIG meeting. We traded off. But I said that we should send out some comms about the request for help with art for the summit.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a ping out in Crafter Netties. Sorry, I'm recovering from COVID. But there's a ping out in Crafter Netties saying, hey, we need help with the designs for the summit, and they're due by the end of the month, which is a fun opportunity that anyone can contribute to if you just want to make a design that involves with the prompt basically of Kubernetes and Paris. Drafts are welcome, and then we'll end up choosing a few designs for the few things that we need. And basically the things that we need for the contributor summit are t-shirt design, award design, and staff swag design.
There are no awards in EU normally. It's only US for awards, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. No awards
Yeah,
this
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Thank you. Good call. So just the t-shirt and the staff swag. So mainly just the t-shirt, really, I think this time. We'll see. But if anyone is artistically inclined and wants to make some drafts, please feel free and send them to Crafter Netties. And even if they're not super clean and pretty, if you just kind of draft something up, I could help you clean it up. Just something fun to do. So wanted to send that out more broadly because I feel like folks don't know that that's an opportunity that they could contribute to the community with.
Yeah. All the Crafter Netties, Sigbeard, like all those groups, I feel like they still exist, right? Like there's still things, it's just they get talked about less, I feel like. So
Crafter Netties also isn't very active.
well, neither is Sigbeard or
Yeah.
Sigtall or anything like that, right? Like
Yeah.
It's just a thing.
Yeah. Crafter Netties has an actual channel in Slack.
Right.
And,
Like you're one of the few. So does
yeah.
Sigbeard, I think. But
Yeah. Interesting. Really? I should
Yeah.
join that. Anyway. About Contributor Summit art. So I'm hoping to just kind of throw together a little tweet to send out today, hopefully.
Okay.
Just an FYI. Cool. Also, we have a few members of our team who haven't gotten a tour of Buffer, I think, and aren't in Buffer. So maybe if we have time at the end here, we'll do a little Buffer overview if anyone is on who isn't familiar, or if folks need a review.
Yeah.
But for now, let's hop into the board, I think. Thank you. It needed that. Could you please record that and we can make a little soundboard?
I can record a
comms.
lot of things.
Comms team sound bites. That would be fun. I like that idea.
I would love to have a soundboard, to be honest with you, but I
Yeah.
would use it too much and it becomes
For this meeting.
Yeah, like I could, in theory.
I like the
think.
idea. All right. So hopping into the board, the only thing in ready for review is the release team subproject Spotlight blog. Any updates there, Nitish and Frederico? Nitish is on.
I think,
Oh, there he is.
but I think that this
Hi,
Yeah.
am I audible?
Yes, you are.
yes.
So, regarding this release team subproject, I think everything has been done. I have even messaged in the comms channel regarding when should we publish this blog, and the message that I've got from the chat, the current release is that we can set a publishing date for the next week. So I just would like to confirm what is an perfect date to schedule this blog for.
Tuesday, Wednesday. I mean, those are usually the big release days for tech news.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Yeah, like
right?
it's all UTC. Remember that too. So, like, if you say 7 a.m., that'll be 7 a.m. UTC, right?
Okay.
I remember the last time one of the last times we checked in on this, we had a discussion about marking these comments as addressed. Did that
Yeah.
get
Does
done?
GitHub not let you just say like these are resolved? Check, 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 or do you actually have to act on them?
If you click it, you can, yes.
Okay. So it says marked as resolved in a few
Yeah,
places.
it is.
Yeah.
I think if there is something open, it's residual. The only thing that was, and well, Nitish said it perfectly. The only reason why this isn't out yet was because this was ready during the release week of 129. And it's mostly the warning was more about the feature blocks that were being released in that week. Then we had the holiday season, vacations for some, etc. So now we're good to go, even because there's no 130 release or anything like that starting soon. So yeah.
Yeah, I would say fire away next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan to me. Excellent. Thank you, Nitish and Federico, for all of the work that you've done to make this blog and get it going.
This is going to be a good one, I feel like, for the community.
I'm so excited.
For sure. Yeah. We're looking forward to
really great content.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Looking forward to that in the next week or so, hopefully. So moving on from that, those are the only things in our review column, which is, I think, a pretty good way to start the year. So we'll move into in progress. Hi, Ian. I saw you pop on. Hi. We're doing the table.
Hi. It is the first week of the year, and I have no idea what day it is. Sorry, everybody. Hello.
Yeah, I was going to try to post a reminder that this meeting was happening, and then I got on a couple minutes late myself, so.
So what you're saying is I should have done that. Because
It's
I
fine.
thought about it. I was like, should I post? Well, I don't know if we're having one.
We should have done it, but it's fine.
After this week, I will be back on a more even keel. My apologies, everybody.
No, all good. One thing that we mentioned earlier, I'll mention before we go into in progress, is that we still haven't heard from steering on the Kubernetes IO account. So
okay,
I was saying that I'm gonna have to like start pinging them weekly or something.
I mean, I think this week, while we're on the subject, we, everybody
It's
collectively gets a little bit of a mulligan, and then after this week, like on Monday, we holler at everybody, right?
Yeah, it's true. And also, like, we were trying to do that right before KubeCon, and then it was after KubeCon, and after KubeCon was the holidays, so
totally. And now is a good time, I think, to circle back with everybody.
Oh yeah,
tis true. Tis true. All right, so in progress items. First one here is the spotlight on SIG Infra, which is owned by Bishal. Bishal hasn't been on in a while, and I've said that a couple times now that I need to ping him. So I should probably do that. So we'll move on from that one. So I assume there has been no movement. Next one, SIG Architecture Spotlight, Federico, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we're exactly at the same point that we were in December, because I just got back yesterday, so I haven't really checked up with everyone yet.
Perfect.
Where we were was that we had the API governance one ready or close to ready. I just need to check it with Gordon Liggett, so that we can push it forward. That's the next one with a publishing date that can be still in January. After that, I have lack of feedback from the two missing ones there, but I will persist on them. It's enhancements and code organization. I mean, not lack of feedback completely, but a more ping me later because I really can't do it right now. So the plan is to focus on the API governance one for this month, and then and also start to work on the others. And the same applies to the book reading club, in which I have still no feedback post vacation period.
Yeah, I actually was looking through our old notes and I saw that in one of the meetings where I was gone, there was a note that said book reading club spotlight canceled. So I see that that's been through the ringer.
I mean, there was that when we thought and when the book reading club itself was being cancelled, right?
Oh yeah,
but
that's what it was probably, yeah.
And it was picked up as a CNCF kind of thing. Then we had a discussion around that it makes sense for us to cover it there or not. We
Right.
ended up with a yes. And that's actually part of the questions that I've put to Carlos. So I just need to make sure that he puts this back into his radar.
New year, everybody's got reading New Year's resolutions.
Oh boy.
Would be a perfect time.
I was just
Maybe I'll try
telling
to help
somebody.
Peg.
I was just telling somebody that asked me, "What are your goals for 2024?" And I was like, "The medical ones or the other ones?" There's like a long list of goals I have this year already. Heavens to Betsy.
Hey, it's good to have goals.
Ah.
Kind of. Our next item in our board is Spotlight on SIG Node, which is our pit. And our pit also hasn't been on for a little bit. I think he might have been on at the end of the year, but he's not on today. So we'll
No.
skip that. Annual report posts. Sundipun. We had a whole discussion about this toward the end of the year. Again, thank you so much for bringing this to our attention and like trying to get moving on it. I assume that you don't have any particular updates from the discussion that we had at the end of the year. Anything you want to say about it, Sundipun?
Yeah, so not much updates from the previous year. By the way, am I clearly audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes.
So I think last time we discussed that we will be using the video recordings of Kubernetes contributor summit to get an updated idea of the areas that SIGs need help with, because the 2022 annual report.
Yeah, it's quite old now. Yeah.
When does the next annual report come out?
So
Great
I was
It's already
talking-
time, I guess.
If it's
Yeah.
already time, I kind of feel like maybe we just published 2023, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah, the issue with it is that I don't know if there's going to be a 2023 annual report
Mm.
because so what
I believe
happened
so.
is let's recap. So in I think 2020 and 2021 we did annual reports and we actually had like the CNCF post about it, and we had like this nice like summary that they posted, and there's all this stuff about it, and they were really nice and convenient and easy to look at and easy to go through and post the help wanted from.
Nice.
But a lot of that work was done manually by either Paris or Bob, it sounded like.
Ooh.
Yeah,
And Paris isn't
so
on steering anymore.
Right.
yeah.
I think a lot of it was
So-
Paris. So yeah, okay.
Yeah. There's a lot
Exactly.
of decay.
So in 2022, they did the annual report thing again, kind of, where they asked all of the SIGs for their input, but a lot of the SIGs didn't get it done in time, and it never got collected into a unified summary. So it's all just in the SIG repos. There's like some hidden place in each SIG repo where they have like their document for the 2022 annual report, but it never got summarized.
For the
So-
6 who got it done.
Yeah. I think everybody ended, most of them at least ended up getting it done, but yeah,
I'm
it's possible.
pretty sure
some
that
didn't.
everybody didn't.
Yeah, that's fair. So Sundipun was being a go-getter and actually like going through and finding all of these in the individual repos and stuff, because he was like, hey, that never happened.
Good
So
work.
yeah, good work.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing that. And then we talked about it and we were like, why is this so hard? what is going on? So we talked about it in the SIG meeting, and Bob was like, yeah, manual work didn't really work out on a good time schedule. And then I think for 2023, they're just like, we don't have anyone to lead this. So I don't know if it's going to happen. So that's the recap.
Yikes.
Well, so if I'm trying to just sort of be kind of pragmatic about it, like if I'm threat modeling this out, there are a couple of different kind of paths here, right? One of them is we have something that at this point is by the numbers 2 years old because it's 2024 now, so it's not even last year's. And we just publish it and it's old. And maybe we need to try to see what kinds of updates are needed, if there's any like help wanted things or anything like that, because that stuff is probably outmoded at this point. Alternatively, if there is a 2023 report coming down the pike, we just publish 2023, and I don't know, or I guess we just don't.
I like the idea that Sundipun mentioned of taking the little lightning talks all of the SIGs did at the Contributor Summit in Chicago.
Yeah.
And doing messages about that.
I like that a lot, because that's more updated help wanteds, because if SIG whatever wanted help with KEP, ABC 123 that actually got merged like a year and a half ago, like that's not helpful at this point,
Yeah. It exists. We can share it. We just need to, I guess we need to go find it and maybe figure out the timestamps for each SIG. And then we can do a tweet for each one being like, SIG blah, blah, blah made a request at the Contributor Summit for help. And here it is. Listen to it if you're interested.
Yeah. How much of that, like, do any of you have an idea of like how much of that needs follow-up work for updates, or do we just like publish it as is, like if any of that was especially time sensitive, I guess Chicago wasn't that long ago.
No,
it wasn't
like
that
I don't
long
think
ago.
anything was time sensitive. If I recall correctly, right? Like if somebody was like urgently needing something, I feel like we would have heard that by now.
Yeah, fair enough. I feel like the most sort of urgent thing that I remember was at CD, and they're doing their thing. So
yeah, they're off and running, I feel like.
Yeah.
And I mean, after KubeCon, most of the people went directly straight to end of year vacation. So
yeah, fair enough. Okay.
Unless you had to do reInvent, which you then suffered for another 2 weeks.
Yeah. Also, I'm not signed in today, so.
We don't need no stinking GitHub around here.
Oh no, now I'm like stuck here.
I'm serious about this week. Like Monday being on New Year's or whatever is like, everybody's thrown off. Like if being out for a couple of weeks wasn't enough.
Right. Like I came back this week and there's no one on my team here. So it's like, okay.
Hanging out.
Just chilling, whatever.
Sundipun. On top of it, being go-getter again. Already found the
you are
YouTube link.
amazing.
This is great. Awesome.
Amazing. Cool. So Sundipun, what I would suggest is maybe run through that, find the timestamps, and then maybe use your doc or create a new one to draft out the different tweets to say, here's the call out for SIG, blah, 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 and do something like that. What do you think, Sundipun?
Yeah, I can do that, but actually I am just a bit preoccupied with some work for the next 2 weeks because I graduated last year and currently looking for full-time opportunities. So I am.
Congratulations on graduating.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that seems like a lot of work for one person to take on, even if they're not busy job hunting.
Bingo,
because it's like going through the thing, doing the timestamps and drafting the tweets. It seems like a lot. I'm wondering if there's a way to like
chop it
spread
up.
that work out, maybe just like if one person goes through and writes out the timestamps somebody else can like, or like if there's like a transcript that like we can find somewhere.
There's an auto-generated transcript, but I don't know how
And
good it is.
honestly, auto-generated transcripts often suck, but that might give us an idea of like roughly what is happening when. That could be helpful in looking
it does
at
have,
try to,
it does have timestamps. So if you hit the like show more button under the video, it's there. There's a link right there, but it just pops up in the side. I'm not sure I can download it, but it's got timestamps.
Ah, the transcript has timestamps.
Yeah.
For like
that seems helpful, and like, because like, I mean, going through that whole like hour and a half and having to like transcribe all of that, write down
all that,
and do the tweets, like that sounds like a ton of work.
This is only 18 minutes actually.
Yeah,
okay.
It's
just
pretty
felt
short.
like an hour and a half.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, cool. Mario, if you want to help out with that, would be appreciated.
Yeah, I have you need to be there meeting on, which is the whole Tuesday where I can do this.
And as we've said, it is the first week, so we'll check back in on this next week and hopefully remember what we were talking about. Maybe not. Maybe we'll have this entire conversation again.
Down?
Yeah, I think
I would like
writing
to.
Something down might be cool.
Yeah,
but I'm not logged in, so I can't edit.
Oh shit. Okay.
Well, is anybody in the agenda notes thing and can write stuff down there?
Yes,
I can do that.
Have it as a touch point.
That works.
I can do that real quick. Instead of annual report help wanted from 2022. Let's tweet timestamps from KCSNA 23. And then I'll put the link.
I just want to point out what Mario said in the chat.
Yes. Yeah. Yep, I saw that. That was what I was saying earlier. If Mario wants to do that, would be appreciated. Cool. Awesome. Thank you, team, for working through this and figuring out a way forward. Awesome. I'm excited about that. Cool.
Mario, do you want help tweet drafting?
Yeah, as soon as I will prepare something and then just throw it into the comms channel, and then we can draft it. We can basically add in an Excel list like this is the tweet for this is the tweet for this, and if someone has time, basically draft a tweet. I will write a short summary, and then we can draft it. English. Draft the tweets out of it. Sorry.
Perfect. Okay, I can help. I'm totally down to help draft tweets, or edit them, or whatever. So happy to work with you on that.
I can do the same.
And I think we'll finish up this stuff in the next couple of minutes, and I can do a review of Buffer. And if anyone hasn't written tweets before and used Buffer, this would be a good chance for you to try that.
Sweet. Okay.
Yeah. All right, let's run through these last couple items real quick. Establishing a process to prevent duplication in LWKD articles.
So last year I created the script that basically grabs all of the release information of the adjacent projects and creates a pull request for it, and this works pretty nice. So every Monday morning at 1 a.m. A PR is created, and basically we could do something similar that basically goes through the old Last Week in Kubernetes newsletters and grabs what caps and so on already have been posted. So I'm happy to write something for this, but this will take some time until I get to this. But this might be a good way to automate this. I haven't received any feedback on the comment that I put into this issue. So if we want to go with this, I'm happy to do this in the course of January. But Just want to know if this is feasible or not. And we cannot auto merge things into repositories because it's prohibited by our bot security, because they are not
Right.
signed. And Bob, I had a long chat with Bob, and Bob basically told me we lost access to some of repositories by utilizing GitHub Actions, and that's the reason why we prevent automated merges and commits. No, commits are fine, but merges are prevented.
Yeah, totally.
Understandable. Yeah. Awesome. I was all ready to be like, and maybe somebody will figure that out someday, but I forgot Mario has already figured that out. There we are.
Mhm.
So thank you for making an attempt at that and making significant progress. And as folks get their wits back about them at the beginning of the year, hopefully folks will take a look over that and you can move forward with that. Awesome. And then the last thing in our in progress column is attempt to contact Kubernetes LinkedIn group owners, which instead we're just going to contact LinkedIn, and that's on my to-do list for today, as we have discussed already.
Instructions are in the notes.
Yeah. So I got to do that today. For our to-do column, I usually run through these real quick. If anybody wants a SIG spotlight, those are available. Maybe wait a couple of weeks. Guidelines for sensitive end user impacting comms. Someday we'll do more stuff with that. Remote new contributor workshop content. Maybe someday that will. What we're really waiting for there is the GitHub Workspaces thing. So maybe someday the GitHub Workspaces will exist. Technically, the new contributor workshop content does exist. But yeah.
This is news to nobody on ContribEx, I realize, but I think the CFP for Contributor Summit I got an email about yesterday. So is there anything that we want to do specific to that?
Interesting proposal. For the last couple of contributor summits, we've essentially run the contributor site workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's been like our one thing at the contributor summit has been that. I think we had a discussion last time about having like a SIG meeting at the contributor summit, and then we didn't decide anything. So I don't know, maybe.
I think let's think on it this week and revisit it next week. And I just wanted to bring it up before I forgot, so that like
Yes.
plant that seed, then give us some time to think about it, because I know that is a deadline that I always sneaks up on me. So yeah.
Good call.
I mean, we should figure out who is actually there at Paris.
Yeah, which is, I think, kind of still up in the air. The schedule's not out yet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The schedule got moved to 22nd of January because too many submissions for KubeCon.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yep. So it goes. Other stuff in our to-do column, which just sits here, is notify comms team when a new issue is created. We had been looking into interesting ways to make that happen.
There's ways. I just
Yeah.
don't know.
We never ended up settling on a specific path and
Yeah.
addressing it. So maybe someday we will do more with that. It's not a super high priority issue for us. Add all use cases for Zapier automation, general Zapier stuff.
Yeah. I make diagrams has been on my list of things to do for a long
That's what
time.
that's still there for.
Mm-hmm.
KubeCon EU 24 tweets. I already got that in the to-do column. Way to go, me.
Good for you.
I need to get that into the in progress column probably in the next week or two. Because it's coming up fast. And then figure out the status of Kubernetes IO and determine next steps, which we already discussed.
Yep.
And that's the board.
Ta-da.
Yay.
Cool. So buffer. Let's do a little recap real quick. If I can log in first, I guess. Hold on. I'm gonna stop sharing and then reshare once I get logged in. Yeah, I think several folks in here haven't done anything with buffer yet or haven't done it in a long time. So I think a review is warranted. Plus, it's the beginning of 2024. Seems like a good thing to do with the beginning of 2024.
New year, new review.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Recording in progress. More social media. I'm trying to blog this year. That is my recurring New Year's resolution that I have every year, but I'm actually making progress this year. Sundapunt has a hand up. Yes.
Yeah, so I am a YouTube admin, and so I remember one thing from that is in the YouTube guidelines, in the Kubernetes community repo, there is a document, and it has a link where it has been described how to trim the videos and add the description and stuff like that. And I remember you walking through the buffer stuff number of times last year. So what I was suggesting is you can do a video walkthrough and
Oh,
add it
yeah.
in the
Yeah,
Kubernetes
we should
YouTube
record it.
channel, and we can
Yeah.
have that, because
That is
I
a
have
good call.
seen you do that a number of times.
Yeah. Thank you, Sundapun. Very good suggestion. I'm going to write that down for myself. And we could just pull it from one of these meetings, but I think it'd be nice to like do that.
Yeah,
Like
like
do a nice little video and put it
mhm.
up. Thank you. It's a very good suggestion.
Yeah.
Sure. Let me write that down real quick. Board buffer walkthrough. Excellent.
Nice.
Thank you for the suggestion. I love having so many people involved with different parts of the project in here. So many cool ideas come from that.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. All right. So, for anyone not familiar with Buffer, I think everybody is at least mildly familiar with Buffer in this group. But I'll do a quick overview. So here is the calendar view. When you log in, if anyone doesn't have an account yet, let me know so that I can invite you. When you get the invite, it'll come in as an email and it'll say make an account. You go ahead and make an account. And then if I invited you, then that means that I've already added you to the team. So once you log in, you should already have access. And when you do log in, it'll look kind of like this. And up here in the upper right, you'll see yourself. And that's where you can choose to go to the Kate's contributors area of Buffer. I have like my personal one, which I don't use at all. So it's completely empty. So I don't mind showing that, which is just like a free account. So it's like, hey, don't you want to pay us? How do I get it? Can I
Stay
like
on
not?
free plan. No.
Yeah. Okay. That works too. So it looks very similar as you can see for my personal one, but we go to Kate's contributors. And it says Kate's contributors over here. It's got the little X symbol, so that's Zitter. And then we've got Mastodon here. And maybe someday we'll have LinkedIn. And then this is the calendar view. So you can see we've got a blog that posted yesterday. That was an auto-generated tweet that posted. And then we've got another one for Mastodon. For some reason, the auto post times are different for
They're very
Zitter
different for
and
reasons.
Mastodon.
So like times on Twitter versus times on Mastodon versus times on LinkedIn, they are all very different as to when's the best time to post. So people have done a lot of studies on this and they all have different days and times.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Good to know. I figured that the buffer stuff is based on some kind of analysis that they do of what the
Yeah,
best times are to post, but
I am fairly certain I read in their docs that is, that like they've done some work on that. So yeah. I mean they would
Cool.
know.
Yeah.
Most of most of the stuff goes through them.
Yeah, you would think.
Mm.
So So from this view, you can create a post directly, and for most of you folks, you will have access where you can write stuff, but you won't be able to post stuff directly. So if you write something up here and hit whatever your send button is here at the bottom, you'll probably have to customize for each network and then add it. I think yours doesn't say add to the queue. I think it says like submit for review or something like that. So you won't be able to mess anything up. So feel free to come in here and draft a tweet and just roll with it because you can't mess it up. As long as you don't have admin privileges. So then if you do put something in here that you want to have posted, just let us know so that we can review it and we're happy to send it out. The idea of K's contributors is that it is comms by contributors for contributors. So if you have something that you want to post, like folks are welcome to use this resource to draft things and let us know. Like I'm gonna do with the art thing.
Right.
Yeah. Honestly, that's kind of the basics. Is there anything else that folks particularly want? If you click on one of these channels, by the way, you can see this view where you can see what the recommended times are for posting on that channel. And you can schedule a post for one of those times, or you can schedule it directly as well. If I go in here and that's good enough. And I would want to post it to both. I can either add it to queue, which will post it at the next recommended time, or you can schedule the post and then you can select which day and time. So lots of useful tools here. As I said, you'll submit things for review. I don't have anything to approve right now, but since I'm an admin, you would see things that I need to approve here. Yeah, and that's kind of the basics of Buffer. Any questions? If anyone, like I said, if anyone doesn't have access to this, let me know, so I'll get you added. And you just log in with your own account. You don't need access to a special account or anything to do this. Since we have a paid account, we have a team, so your personal account will be able to access this.
Yeah. Shouldn't be an issue.
Cool. So I encourage you all to make use of this resource. All right. And with that, we've got 5 minutes left. Anything else anybody wants to discuss before we stop the recording? All right. Sounds like we're good to go. I think we'll go ahead and say goodbye to our friends on YouTube then.
Bye,
All
friends on
right.
YouTube.
Stopping the recording.